go. Beautiful.
Wagwan, what's great? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome and thank you very much for stopping by. My name is Chef Adrian Morris and you're watching Morris Time Cooking. As seen in the title, today we're going to be making some apple pie, but not just any regular apple pie. We're going to notch it up a bit and we're going to add some Jamaican white rum. So if that sounds interesting, stick around. After the intro, we get right into it.
We know about sardine, mackerel, chicken neck, chicken back. Nothing I waste, nothing I dash way.
And we are back, and as I said before, making some white rum apple pie. Real quick and easy. And without further delay, let's jump right into these ingredients. First and foremost, you need to have some butter. And I'm using 1 cup of frozen butter. I also have here a tablespoon and a half of granulated sugar. Sugar, you can omit this or you can put it depending on if you want your crust to be sweet. I like a nice flavorful crust, buttery with a little bit of sweetness going on. And I have here half teaspoon of salt to balance out that sweetness and 3/3 cups of ice cold water. It was in the fridge as well. And we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and that's it. So you have flour, butter, sugar, salt, water. That is it for your short crust pastry. If you want to add a little bit of cinnamon into your flour, you can do that for added spice, but we're going to put that for later on. Let's get cooking. So we're going to add our flour straight into our food processor. And this is, as I said, 2 cups all purpose. Set that to the side. Add in our salt, sugar, and then in with the butter. Just gonna cut this into cubes just so it goes through easier. Hear how tough that is? Nice. We're just gonna pop our lid on. We're gonna pulse this until the flour, the sugar, the salt and everything comes together like breadcrumbs, like a rough looking breadcrumb. All right, let's go. Majority of the flour has been blended. We're gonna add the ice cold water to that. Nice. And bring it all together real quick. So you just wanna dump that out right onto a clean work surface. At this point, most of your butter should be broken up and your dough coming together a little bit. So this is what you'll ultimately be left with. Just bring that together like so. It's melting, so you need to work your hands fast. You're not going to need this dough. You're just going to bring it together like a nice little ball. Mop up whatever excess is there, and this is nice and buttery. See, it's gonna be a little bit flaky, don't worry. Cut this into 2 equal pieces, and this is where the hard part comes in, and that's the waiting time. So we're gonna wrap those into plastic wrap. We're gonna refrigerate for at least an hour. So when you flatten them, makes refrigeration easier. So we're gonna chill these in the fridge for at least an hour, and in the meantime, we're gonna work on the filling. Let's go. All right, so now we're gonna work on the filling, right? So these are the Granny Smith apples. Sometimes they can be sweet. However, these ones are not that sweet, but that's perfect because I want to have a little bit of sourness with that sweetness, with that spice. Just a perfect combination. So I went in with 5 of these because they're so small, and 3 gala apples. These are on the sweeter side, right? And if I was to use just gala, I would use 5 or 6. And if I were to use these ones, I use about 8 or 9 of these, right? So in total, I want to get about 2.5 pounds of apples roughly. All right, these are already washed. We're just gonna peel them. So you can use a peeler for this, or you can use a knife. I peel them like the way how I peel oranges, ensuring not to go too deep within the flesh of the apple. Remove the core. So you're gonna remove the core like so. Just the excess. Cut that down half. And you can just go around the core like so. And you're just left with the pit of the apple, right? Chop these into nice cubes. And that's what you want. You want to chop them up into nice cubes. So we're just going to cut the rest of the apples and we'll be right back. And there we go. So to kickstart our filling, I'm going to go in with 2 cups of water. I'm going to go in with a cup of granulated sugar. You can add a little bit more depending on how sweet you want yours to be. I'm going to hit that with 1/4 teaspoon of salt just to balance out things a bit. And give that a nice little whisk. Squeeze into that the juice of some lemon. I'm going to be using at least a tablespoon. And then to that, I'm going to add some cornstarch, 2 tablespoons. This will help us to thicken up that sauce nicely. So ensure to mix out the cornstarch to prevent lumping. So we're going to add to our pan. We have here 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to add 1 first. In goes our apples. Allow these to sweat down and caramelize just a little bit. Then I'm going to hit that with some white rum. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons here, or 1 ounce. And we're going to flambe this. Whoa, beautiful. You see that? There we go. So what this is basically doing is burning that excess alcohol, just leave us with flavor. So that's what flambe is, right? Is to burn off, and that's fire still on there. All you have to do, just tilt the pan, and that's gone. Beautiful. These are sweating down nicely. So allow all of this alcohol to absorb into the apples, because we want them to be infused. And don't worry, you're not drunking off nobody, because we make fruit cakes in Jamaica. This alcohol is just going to burn off that alcohol and give you nothing but flavor. And we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Not too much, you don't want to overspice this. And just a little bit of fresh grated nutmeg, about 1/4 teaspoon. Stir that in. Coat the apples with the cinnamon. As I said, you don't want too much cinnamon, it's going to overpower this dessert. We're going to add in our sugar mixture right in there. Whoa. And I like a little bit of extra liquid. You can add a little bit less liquid if you want to, but I like a little bit of extra liquid in my apple pie. Yeah, man. Gonna allow this to reduce to half the amount. So about 5 or so minutes on high heat. Allow this to reduce and thicken up. Then we're gonna hit that with the remainder of our butter. Can keep this on medium high heat while it thickens. Give that a stir occasionally so we don't burn anything. There we go. Allow this to completely cool. This is looking good, smelling good, zesty, sweet. Come on. So grab the dough from the fridge. It's been over probably like 1.5 hours, 2. And I have here everything cooled down. The pie filling has cooled down. Alright, set that to the side. We're gonna lightly dust our work surface. A little bit of flour here on the dough. Get that on the rolling pin. And we're gonna roll this out to about 11 or 12 inches. A little bit wider than whatever pan you're using. I'm using a 9-inch pan. Look at that. It's laced with butter. So I roll a little bit of flour because that butter was so hard. Turn that around. I'm gonna roll this out to about 2 centimeters. Alright. Lightly dust again. Just like so. And we're gonna roll that onto our rolling pin gently. Just like that. Grab your pie dish. And we're just gonna roll this out gently. Boom. Just like that. And you just allow this to fall into the bowl. Don't press it down. Allow it to fall into the bowl. And there we go. Now we're gonna add our cooled filling inside. Nice. Kind of level that off. That is it. Set this to the side. And we're gonna roll out the top. And roll that out. Turn it around. Roll it out again. I'm going to use a pizza cutter. You can use a knife to cut this, and I'm going to cut it in about 1 inch thick. I need some nice thick lattice. So you try to get them as even as possible. Just like so. Let us push this to the side. And then we're going to start working because kitchen is hot, the oven is on, everything is melting. Get the longest strip, and we're going to put that in the center. Just like so. And I want to create just a little bit of room in between them, just like that. So how you're gonna line this out now? You're gonna peel back every other one. So peel it back like so. 1. I will skip that one. Peel back. 2. Skip that one. Peel back. 3. Get the longest one. And we're gonna try and aim for the middle, because we need the long ones to cover. So boom, in the middle, and you peel it back, and then you peel it back, right? So the ones that we didn't touch were these ones. Peel that back, and then you peel that back. Because remember, we peeled this one, and this one. Now it's time for the other one. So you get this one right here, put it right there, like so. Peel that back, peel that back, right? Alright, grab yourself a kitchen scissors, and we're gonna clip off the edge, not all the way through, just clip off a little bit. Just enough over the edge, and then we're gonna roll this up like so. So you kind of give it a roll them up into each other like so. Roll it up, or you can just get a little prick motion going like that way you do for a gizzard, a pinch my side, so to speak. Right, 1 finger, and you push and you squeeze. Before I egg wash this, I'm going to pop this in my freezer for about 10 minutes just to firm up back before we start baking. Try to move so fast because as you see the butter is melting, so I kind of miss a few of the lattice right there. But you get the drift. Looking good the same way. See all those buttery pieces? Alright, it's nice and firm now. I have a bowl here with about a tablespoon of water. I'm gonna go in with 1 egg, and we're gonna whisk. Go in with my pastry brush, and you wanna ensure that you cover all the bare spots that are there. Let's go, because that's what's going to make this crust nice. So even on the insides, you wanna get that egg wash. And lastly, I have here 1 teaspoon of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Just mix that up. This is optional. You can just add the sugar if you want to, but I like a little bit of cinnamon sugar on here. So we'll just gently sprinkle that. Nothing too crazy. Just a little bit. And there we go, beautiful. As I said, we're gonna pop this in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes or until we have a nice golden brown flaky buttery crust, or when you see that apple start oozing out. So let's go. Middle rack, and we're good to go.
go. Beautiful.
Just gonna allow this to cool down, and once it cools down fully, I'll cut into it tomorrow. Back at it, it's the next day, probably almost 24 hours later. I haven't wrapped this, I just covered it up, left it on the countertop. So it's a bit firm, as I said before. The edges got a little bit brown because I like when my pie is crunchy. And full disclosure, I set 30 minutes on there at first, realized the crust wasn't brown enough that I wanted it to, and I ended up running this for an hour. But 40 minutes should be ideal for your pie, and I put that on the middle rack, right? Where should I start? My mouth is literally salivating. It's nice and soft. The edges are a little bit crispy, as I said. A little bit more on the well done side, but this is buttery. Let's go. See if we get the perfect slice. Ooh, come on, boy. Come on, don't do me that. Proper slice I may add. Alright. Gonna microwave. It holds up nicely, man. Gonna microwave for about 10 to 15 seconds. 12 seconds. Nice flaky crust. Perfect amount of lime. Sorry, not lime, lemon. The crust. Hold on, listen. Even though the crust around the edge is a little bit on the darker side, trust me, hold on. Let me show you my top about. Laced with butter. Seriously, look at that. Whoa. Hold on. Let me show you the filling. Come on. Come on, come on. Perfect sweetness in the filling. The crust is buttery, flaky, not too sweet. Oh my days. Don't judge me. Please don't judge me. One more slice. And there you have it. I had to grab a second slice. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to make this for your Thanksgiving. The Morris time way. I'm not gonna take care of this, but trust me, Thanksgiving is coming up. Make this for you and yours. You'll love it. I guarantee you. See, until next time, safe travel upon the gravel, and go and big up on yourself.